racing that car on Route X, and you know, on there you never have to fucking lift. And eventually that fucking green bar ran out of power, and that's why that car went slow. Okay. Yeah. Because, like, I was doing like 220, and it slowed down, I was running like 180, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking piece of shit? It used up its fucking electric for the fucking motors, I guess. I'm gonna go to my garage and hit that, learn more about that fucking car and see what it says. I've never read about it. Fucking Batmobile looking motherfucker. I wish they'd bring back that Mazda Fury. Fucked everybody go.
I'm recording this and I'm going to put it on YouTube.
Jesus.
I'm watching the replay. Holy shit, that's when I punted that Testarossa. It was just flying into a wall.
Where the fuck do you go to read about that? Oh, car collection. Okay, there. That's gonna read entirely.
these little street cars. I pull up behind them and then I pull out and I give it a little gas and I'm gone. And they're like, "Oh, hey!" That Ferrari's like twice as wide as that Tuscan. That's why that thing handles so good. It's wide and low to the ground. It looks like a fucking Le Mans race car.
Yeah, this Lambo's hybrid says.
Yeah.
Powertrain was derived from the Lamborghini Cyan FKP37 hybrid system with a mid-mounted V12. Produced 818 horsepower, making this virtual race car one of the prettiest and meanest that the folks from Automobili Lamborghini have ever created for your bowl of spaghetti. Signori! Bene. That's that cool car. Oh, I don't have the 8C. I thought I did. I got the 8C competition. Maybe that is it. Maserati Gran Turismo S. Wasted fucking. Wasted wheels. It's the Ferrari F4 silhouette. It's weird, like most of the Italian cars are fucking red.
Yeah, but that's not really Lambo's color, though.
No. Although one of the two Lamborghinis I actually own right now are, well, one's red. The 25th anniversary Countach. Oh, I have 156, 454 cars.
Lambo likes yellow a lot. They put it on a lot of cars.
Yeah, I've got a couple of their shades of yellows, and they look really good.
Like the Mura, it looks good in the shade they have it.
Let's see, I need just under $1 million to buy that fucking Mercedes CLK.
They also have that Verde Manis green.
Yeah,
Lambo
I bought
does.
that one.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been thinking about redoing my Shelby GT350 and putting that on it.
Yeah.
Making that motherfucker really pop on a racetrack.
I bought, on the Crew 2, I bought the Senna, McLaren Senna, and I painted it that lime green, fluorescent. It looks badass.
Yeah, I got the Plymouth Limelight Green and Plum Crazy and Go Mango, and of course I got all the Ford paints. I got some Chevy paints. believe it or not, I got a couple Lexus paints that are pretty spiffy. I got magnetic, black, and then I bought all those carbon, like carbon twill. But if you do those, do a car in that, you got to do the whole fucking body. Like, you can't just do part of it.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason. I think I might go open up the fucking GT350 and the fucking livery editor and fucking paint it, see what it looks like. I wish when you put decals on a car, when you paint it, the decals would stay, or do they? I don't think they did.
What do you mean stay?
Like, where you don't have to put the decals back on again?
They stay. Even when you're transferring them from GT Sport, they stay.
Oh, I guess I have to go actually switch fucking cars before I can do it. I forgot. That's one thing I miss about PS5. You click on a menu, and boom, you're there. There ain't no fucking sitting here waiting for it to fucking... Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired.
This thing's got the sound between the Bugatti and that French car. That VGT French car.
Yeah.
It rumbles. It's got a deep rumble to it.
I'll tell you what, this GT350R fucking has a snarl to it that's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
That flat plane fucking 5.2
Yeah.
voodoo motor. Ooh. And I've heard one of them fuckers start up and fucking run. Oh, fucking Dean Van Sickle. He fucking rapped on that motherfucker. And he said, that sound good? I was like, dude, I got a fucking hard on. I said, I'm gonna have to go step behind your fucking shop and start beating my fucking dick. He laughed. He said, you wanna drive it? And I said, I want to, but I ain't going to. I said, this is a fucking $60,000 car, man. He's like, take it down the highway. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I said, I can't replace this car if fucking something happens to it. He said, brother, I pay $15,000 a year for insurance for 4 of these Mustangs, the valuable ones. He's got 2 Boss 302 Laguna Secas, a GT350R, and a 2007 GT500, and he pays $15K a year just to insure those 4 cars. And that one Boss 302 Laguna Seca, he bought that from a guy down in Jeff City, which is our, the state capital.
Yeah.
The guy died and his widow sold this car. Like, she tracked Dean down and said, I hear you're a big Mustang guy. And she's like, my husband had this Mustang. She said, I think it's a Boss. Does that mean anything? And he's like, yeah. And he said, like, at first I wasn't interested because, people call me, tell me they got an old Mustang sitting in the fucking garage. He's like, I usually just picture it as like some old clapped out 1983 that's more rusted away than what's left. But he said, I was about ready to tell her, well, I'm not really interested, in another Mustang. When she said Boss, he said, I kind of perked my ears up. And so then he asked her the magic question, like, what year is it? Thinking she'd say, 69. And he said, no, it's a 2015, I think, or 13, whatever. Because they had those Boss 302s in, like, either 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And she said, no, it's 2013. She's like, my husband had been buying parts for it, like it's got different suspension under it. It's the engine's been gone through, and Dean was like, wait. He's like, what's your address? He said, this sounds like I just need to come see this car in person. And she told him his address. So, well, if you come down here, bring a enclosed car trailer, because you can drive the car, but there's a bunch of stuff that goes with it. And so Dean went to look at this Boss 302, and she's got like a big fucking shoebox full of receipts. It's got a forged Scat racing crank, 30 over block, forged pistons, aftermarket cams, different intake, different fuel injectors, carbon fiber drive shaft, fucking tubular suspension in it. The rear end has been fucking pulled out and gone through. It's got different gears. It's been lowered. Got adjustable springs. This fucking car is a race car. And he's telling me about this car, and I'm standing there looking at it, and I'm like, this motherfucker's got like Recaros in a cage and 5-point harness, and it's like, I can tell it's been lowered. And I look at the tires, it's got Pirelli F1s on it, like race car, like autocross tires. I was like, dude, what'd you get for this car? He said, I paid $56,000 for this. And I'm sitting there in my mind, I'm like, yeah, and it's got about $25,000 or $30,000 worth of parts strapped to it or bolted on the bottom of it. And then he's like, you want to hear it run? I said, fuck yeah, dude. And he started that thing up. And I was like, Had a fucking Borla exhaust on it. And it was fucking choppy, like blah, 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 blah. And so he's like, well, I drove it around a little bit, and then we put it on a trailer and brought it home. And he said, I wanted another Boss. He wanted another Boss 302 just to fucking drive. So then he bought a second one that's more of a driver car. Like, I mean, yeah, they're still collectible, but this one, that first one he bought, yeah. He said it doesn't get taken out very often, but he actually did have it out one day, and he was running. We got a big 4-lane highway that runs through here called 36, and he was out goosing on that real hot one, real fucking hard, and a trooper got he got the ticket pled down to 95, and he had to do 60 hours community service. Now this guy is, yeah, he's probably a millionaire, and he's in there pleading his fucking court case to the judge like he's a fucking common criminal. He said the judge was like, looked at him and said, sir, why in the hell would you think it's a good idea to drive that damn car that damn fast on that damn road? And I was like, Your Honor, I don't have any excuse for it. And the judge was like, good, because if you tried to come up with some excuse, I was going to rip this ticket up and put your ass in jail for 30 days. He said, because I can't. He's like, so, 40 hours community service, you lose your license for 30 days, and a year's worth of SR22, boom, hit the gavel. And when I went over there and bought that Ford Focus, he was telling me about this, and he's like, yeah, I can't leave the farm. He's like, unless somebody takes me somewhere. And I was like, what? What happened? And I thought he was going to tell me he got a DUI or some shit. He's like, no, I decided to hotfoot the fucking boss. And I was like, he's like, you got a few minutes? This is a story that takes some time to tell. I was like, I got all day, brother. And I was like, by the way, you want to run into town and get a cheeseburger? We'll take that GT350 sitting there. He's like, oh, you want to drive it now? And I was like, no, I'm just playing. I don't want to drive that GT350. I said, if somebody pulled out in front of me and I didn't hit the brake pedal in time, I said I would probably fucking go home and shoot myself. I said, that's a muy bueno car right there. And his GT350 is not stock either. It's probably about 600 fucking horsepower. He's got some fucking rides. 2 of his cars I have saved on my computer. They pop up as my desktop backgrounds. I got about 50 fucking Fords on there.
Yeah.
Black with the orange and the red top.